1 2 mic check. And we're live. Welcome to Real TV. Tonight's show is a strange one. But through it all, I want you to hang in there. If you've never joined the show, welcome to Real TV. I'm your host, Michael Israel. All glory to the Most High. All glory to the Most High. Today's show is called Cannibal Club Part 2. You definitely don't want to miss this one. A lot of strange but true information. Ride this out for a moment. We'll be back in a minute with more from Real TV. Hope you're enjoying the show thus far. The Cannibal Club Part 2. All right. So, on Real TV today, we're going to be talking about and adding on to our previous show, The Cannibal Club. And first, I just want to go ahead and just get right into the scripture portion. A little bit later, we'll do not on the mainstream news because there's so much more that we need to cover. Now, when it comes to scripture, as a recap, we all know, okay, that the Lord formed us from dust. Okay? The Lord formed us from dust. So, In Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord, the Most High, formed man of the dust of ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul. I want you to pay attention to this, because you might miss it. Our Heavenly Father formed us out of dust of the ground. So we were made from mud. We were made from that, from the bottom, the dirt, the mud, okay, the dust, okay? And he breathed into our nostrils the breath of life. So it's so much to chew off of this. One of the most beautiful things is that we were handmade, custom. We're talking about artisan created, couture, okay? And the other is that the same breath that we have today, we're still living off just that one breath that the Most High put into us. Just imagine that. We're living off of just one breath that he breathed into our souls. Such a beautiful thing. Now, another thing, again, we were created from dust. Remember that word dust. Let's go to Genesis. Okay, we're gonna stay in Genesis for a minute, but we're gonna go to Genesis chapter 3. Genesis chapter 3. And we're gonna go to verse 14. And the Lord, the great I am, said unto the serpent. Okay. So the creator of heaven, creator of this earth, the creator of our souls, the creator of this world, he said unto the serpent, he was saying unto Satan, the devil, he was saying unto Lucifer, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go, thus thou shalt eat all the days of thy life. So another one of Satan's punishment was to eat dust. It wasn't so much as just the normal parallel that a snake would naturally eat dust from lying on his belly all of his days of his life, right? No. Because of this great sin, Satan and his bloodline, his demonic lineage of fallen angels, will also feast on dust all the days of their life. They will feast on human flesh all their days of their life. Okay? So that's another parallel. We read line upon line and precept upon precept. In the previous chapter, in regards to the Cannibal Club, we also talked about the giants themselves, the men of renown. Now, we know in the book of Genesis that they chose wives and they procreated. But when we go to the book of Enoch, the book that they took out of the Bible, it goes into more depth about who these fallen angels were. So as a refresher, these fallen angels that were with Satan, that caused the war in heaven, was in a different group. Okay? When there was a war in heaven, Satan crashed down like lightning, him and the third of heaven. Okay, that's one group. But then there was another group that was supposed to be watchers over us. And these watchers were 200 angels in general. Okay? They're supposed to be watching over us, protecting us. And they went against their duties. And one of the leaders of this 200 group of angels, his name was Semyaza. At the end of the day, they all came together and they created a pact to have wives and to curse themselves. These angels taught us how to war. They taught us how to do sorcery, enchantments, makeup, astrology, things of the such. It goes into mass detail when you start with the book of Enoch, chapter 7. These giants today are bound with chains under the hills and mountaintops of the world. And I know this sounds strange, but the actual truth is that when you were a child, you wasn't going crazy. When you were in your teens, you wasn't going crazy. And even to this day, when you see visions and anomalies in the mountains and hills and beaches of the world, you're not going insane. Faces are really there. Body-like structures are really there. The scripture talk of these giants being bound under the earth until their judgment, until they're placed in a lake of fire for all of eternity. Now, when it comes to giants, there's another thing that we should talk about that we barely discuss, and that is the lineage of these giants as far as the family tree. Now, we know that the fallen angels beget giants, but it gets even deeper. I encourage you to research the family tree of Goliath. When you do your findings, you'll notice that he's tied to the Ashkenazis and a few of the other races of the world. But there's one particular trait that giants carry today. One particular trait that is found in giants is something that we can easily see, something that we're supposed to see, and it is a mark. Okay? It all makes sense once you read the scripture, and we're going to talk about it just a little bit briefly so you can understand a little bit better. But in 2 Samuel chapter 21, verses 20 through 21, okay, it's 2 Samuel chapter 21, verses 20 through 21. Check this out. And there was a battle in Gath, where was a man of great stature. So we're talking about a giant. There was a battle, and there was this giant. Okay, check this out. That had on every hand 6 fingers, and on every foot 6 toes, 4 and 24 in number. And he also was born to the giant. Now, there are people in this world that are born to giants. They may not all be extremely tall, but that telltale sign is a mark to let you know that there's a bloodline that they came from. Okay? Because everything that the Lord created, every human that the Lord created has 5 fingers, 6 toes. 5 fingers, 5 toes, a total of, 5 fingers on each hand, 5 toes on each foot, 1 head, okay? Not a Siamese head, okay? Not 2, Not 2 genitalias, not 3 breasts, okay? Everything that the Lord created has a certain number. The Lord is all about numbers, okay? The Lord doesn't play any games when it comes to numbers. We got the 4 seasons. We could talk about the 4 horsemen. We could talk about the 3 wise men. We could talk about the number 7. Every number has a specific meaning behind it when it comes to the Lord. The 40 days, the 40 nights, okay? Everything has a meaning with the Lord. So when we read this scripture that these giants had on every hand 6 fingers and on every foot 6 toes, that makes you wonder about some of these celebrities. Now we know today that LeBron James, for an example, because there's many others, but he has 6 toes. So LeBron James is from the giant bloodline. Now again, he may be a little bit taller in stature, but there's some that are not that tall, but they have 6 toes or they have 6 fingers. Okay? That's just something that I want you to ponder upon. The fallen angel bloodline, this Nephilim bloodline, the giants we can't see, but their spirit is still here. In the book of Enoch, when we read in part 1, if you haven't watched part 1, go listen to part 1, the Cannibal Club part 1. But we talked about how we as humans ran out of food, so the giants started to eat the people. They started to eat us because they were placed here and they were not designed to eat. I know that it is strange as it sounds, but when they were come here to watch us, the Lord didn't put in them, they were spiritual beings, okay? They were spiritual beings on a physical plane, but in a physical body. And they were designed not to eat in our world. They were designed not to have sex in our world. But they built a lust, an extreme lustful desire to do so. And it just turned the world upside down. Now, I know when you first kind of get into scripture, and maybe even when you've been in scripture for a long time, you think about the book of Noah and you be like, man, some people or some atheists or professors, scholars like to say, what a terrible God, if you will. How could a loving God, they like to say, create a world and kill everyone through a flood, right? What you have to understand is that these fallen angels, after they couldn't eat enough food, they wanted more. They needed the blood of a human being. They needed adrenochrome. They needed the life force from us in order to survive. Our soul lies within our blood. Our essence lies within our blood. That's our life force is in our blood. They needed that. Okay? When these fallen angels beget our wives, when they had sex with the women in this world, their desire wasn't fulfilled. It's sort of like, the best way I can say this, because we can all relate to this on a certain level, is that if you were to watch porn, let's just keep it real. Let's keep it 100. If you start off watching porn in your teens, the porn that you watch is different from when you watch it in your life as you were to age and still to continue to watch porn. It may be ABC porn. And then once you grow up, you're like, okay, man, this ABC is getting old. I want to watch ABC and a half to see what else is new. Okay, this is kind of weird. This C and a half is weird. Let me go back to ABC. And then after a while, you get over to you get over to ABC and a half, And you're like, I want to watch A, B, C, D, and E because A, B, C and a half is not satisfying me. And then eventually that individual can go halfway through the alphabet, a third through the alphabet. Some people are so far in life where they are past the alphabet and they're in Greek letters. They're just doing anything, want to watch any who or whatever, if they're into that thing. It's how can I say? It's a desire that can't be kindled. It's a flame that just goes on. It's like gasoline feeding the fire. Once you think, that's how the fallen angel spirit is. Okay? So after they had sex with the women on earth, they were no longer satisfied with the women on earth. So they started having sex with the animals on the earth. They had sex with the birds in the air. They had sex after they had sex with the birds in the air. They're like, this is not enough. Let's have sex with the animals of the sea, the fish, the marine family. That wasn't enough. They defiled every single thing from the air to the sea to the land, to the point where they were mixing and mingling, and they were crossbreeding. And they were creating new creatures that the Lord did not create. So those that are into Egyptology, that praise Egyptian figures, a man's body in a dog's face, a lion's body in a man's face, a woman's body in a cat's face. These are all monumental creatures that were beget from the fallen angels. Now, of course, the technology and the information that they had was incredible. The world can't recreate the pyramids today. The world has so many theories about how the pyramids were even created today. But as I've said many times over, the Egyptians received their information at the end of the day, once you do your research, from the umbrella of the fallen angels. They worship that. The fallen angels gave their information to the Sumerians in the land of Mesopotamia. Okay, in the land of Gilgamesh. Then the Egyptians got the information from the Sumerians. Look this up. Look this trail up. It all makes sense. Then you have the Greeks who stole the information from the Egyptians, and then the Romans stole the information from the Greeks. And then there's this cycle now where the information of fallen angel practices and technology has been dispersed around the world. But you have so many people in the world today that are confused and are part of things that they should not be, and they have no idea, or they have a small sense of an idea of what they're doing and what they're a part of. I'm talking about Greek fraternal and sorority clubs. They call themselves Greeks, but at the same time, they're quote unquote Christians or Baptists or Catholics, which were all created by, which are all man-made religions anyway. There's a man who created the Baptist religion. There's a man who created the Christian religion. A man who created the Protestant and the Methodist. Okay. But just to stay back on that, you have people who calling themselves Greeks. They're calling themselves quote unquote gods. But they're tagging themselves to a fallen angel bloodline. They're going through hazing rituals in the world as if they nailed Christ to the tree and they hung Christ to the tree. Like, what I'm saying is, like, they go through these rituals and these hazing rituals And they pride those things for those who can make it through. They're nothing but a hive of bees with private information and do rituals that will eventually merge them into being a part of the Order of Eastern Star, the Masonic Order, the Trilateral Commission, the United Nations, things of the such. Those groups, the Bilderberg Committee, all these secret groups. And then you have these people who, when you first kind of get into consciousness and you want to support black, the quote unquote black, if you will, you get into this idea that, you know what, I want to be pro-black, so I want everything black. I mean, I understand that the essence of us are on the pharaohs, are on the statues. We were in that area, okay? But you have pro-black people who are all about Egyptology. They rep for those creatures. They appreciate the hieroglyphics on the wall. They are all about Egyptology. But what we have to remember is that the Egyptians are completely different from the Jews. We, from the tribe of Judea, or the tribe of Judea, were actually slaves in Egypt for trying to go along with the fallen angels' way of living, the way of life, and their customs. And the Lord told us to stop doing that because we're supposed to be a special people. Those who are the children of the Most High and those who are strangers who live in righteousness, we're not supposed to be involved with any of those things. And time again, after the Lord told us to stop, we continued to do what was evil. And we had to go in slavery. We had to build those pyramids. Even Moses was confused as to be an Egyptian, and he was not. Moses was able to make it around and be around and mix and mingle with the Pharaoh and them and those Egyptians back then because he was around them. He knew their ways. He knew how they talked. He knew how they dressed. And they assumed initially Moses to be an Egyptian. But he was not. He was a Jew. He was one of the Lord's treasure. I'm talking about the Cannibal Club and how these giants that ate people back in the day, their spiritual essence is still in the world today. Yeah, we don't see giants. We don't see giants as tall as skyscrapers and as tall as waterfalls and as big as the tallest buildings in the world today. But their energy is here. There's so many evil people that are eating people in the world that it is just insane. The things that they do with the food is just insane. Like for us to wonder if this ground is 100% ground when we buying turkey, chicken ground, beef ground, whether it be lamb ground, bison. I mean, who's to say? There's family photos on the package. We can only assume that they have noble work ethics and good practices when it comes to food. We know that regulations are changing. They don't have to even put all the ingredients in the food now. That's out the window. So we should have somewhat of a desire to get our own land one day, to build our own home one day, to have our own produce one day for the sake of a peace of mind, that we may be able to eat good food, that we may be able to help others who don't have food, that we may be able to have a place when things hit the fan and there's martial law or there's money woes and people may lose their apartment, their condo, their home, or whatever it may be. We should get to the place where we're at that level and not be stagnant. When it comes to the Cannibal Club, there's an actual restaurant that's called the Cannibal Club. Now, some people like to say this is just hearsay and it's not true. There's so many places that serve human meat. They have the finest linen on the table. They have servers with excellent hospitality. The ambiance is beautiful. The food tastes good and you would never know. There has been so many businesses around the entire world that has had frozen bodies in their deep freezer. And that has been caught. And that has hit the news. There's so many people who go missing, not exclusively just for body parts alone so other people can live. These elite need a heart, need a lung, a kidney, or whatever it is. On other times when people go missing, they're used for rituals, blood sacrifices, and their body parts go missing. The body's there, but the eyes are gone. The tongue is cut out. The heart is cut out. The lung is cut out. And they're stuffed with newspaper. And the question is, where did all the organs go? Well, just as we in righteousness have high holy days, we have Passover, we have Hanukkah that we celebrate. Just as a quick example, right? Satan liked to do the opposite. He has high evil days. He tries to be just like the Most High, but instead of being like him, he does everything completely opposite, but in evil, of course. So, in more particular, around days that deals with equinox. We're talking about spring equinox, summer equinox, fall equinox, winter equinox. Okay. Even his holidays like Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's, New Year's Eve, Yule's Day, the list goes on. There's a whole calendar, satanic calendar list of yearly rituals. And throughout the year, there's a sacrifice needed for different periods of the year. It may be just all teens for a period of time. It may be infants for a particular holiday. Satan may only just want male figures for a particular holiday. He may want only females from a certain age. And not only will they have that missing individual for body parts, but they will completely torture that individual sexually, mentally, and physically before they die. Because they believe, not only they believe, but they can't live without the fear that is placed within the blood, the fear and the trauma that is placed within the blood of that individual. Because again, we're talking about the giantess spirit in the world living off of human life force, the human blood. They drink the blood to survive, and they use the plasma to power their ships. When you're giving plasma, you're not giving to scientific research. Yeah, they use a portion of it for some creams and things like that. But the bulk of plasma is being used to power these UFO ships. Anti-gravity and things of the such. This sounds like sci-fi. It sounds strange, but it's true. I hope I didn't lose you on here. I'm talking about the Cannibal Club Part 2. Now, I want to read into a little bit about this restaurant here called the Cannibal Club. And let me see here. Well, their site is deactivated right now. But I was going to read their menu, which is off the chain. Now, the Cannibal Club restaurant that's out in LA is not the only one. They're all over the world. Seattle, LA, every major city, DC, every major city, Atlanta, Sweden, Norway, everywhere in the world, okay? You have their clubs, and the club is exclusive. When you go to the gym, you're paying for a membership that only gym members can get. An outsider member who is not quote unquote paying their dues to go to the gym can't get into the club. You don't get the benefits of the club, right? So the same goes forth with these cannibal clubs. It's exclusive. They have discords. They have their own information for their own little crew, for those who are elite and for those who just want to be curious and eventually start serving and washing hands with the elite and eventually becoming part of the elite anyways. Part of the club anyways. But at these Cannibal Club restaurants, which are real, you can make restaurant reservations. You could book them on privately via Open Table. You could order human food for consumption, but you can't take it out of the restaurant and take it with you based on certain laws of the jurisdictions. They'll have someone special. They have a special person come and deliver that food to you if you want to take the rest of that to go. There's ticket sales for these events, and it's a club membership. It's a club membership. So I just don't want you to get it confused that just because you may research this information and you may not be able to find it, it's out there. It's out in secret, and the public information we could find if you try to research it. It's out there. But yeah, I want you to research the Goliath ancestry. Remember when David killed Goliath? Look and see where the Goliath came from. Like, we know the story, right? About how David took the rock slingshot and killed him. But who's Goliath's bloodline? When you find that out, and then you trace that bloodline to the individuals in the world today, you'll be in a deep surprise. You'll be in a really, really true surprise. When it comes to the Nephilim, when it comes to these giants, we can find information one second here. I want to make sure I get this right. Okay, so I'm just going to read a little essence of this giantism and Nephilism type lifestyle from a book called Cannibalism by Bill Schutt. Bill Schutt wrote a novel about cannibalism called A Perfectly Natural History. And it also has illustrations in this novel. But we're going to read a few excerpts here. Okay. What kind of wine pairs best with human? Bill Schutt actually asked that question at a wine store while en route to a dinner party where the main course was the hostess' placenta. The wine clerk, who had no answer for him, she turned and ran away. So I picked up a nice Italian red, an Amarone, and it worked quite well, he says. The placenta, Schutt says, was delicious too. It was clearly organ meat. It had the consistency of veal, but it didn't quite taste like beef, he says. Schutt, a biologist at the American Museum of Natural History, went to that unusual dinner party as research work for his new book, Cannibalism, A Perfectly Natural History, which he'll discuss. So we're talking about a biologist of the American Natural History, He went to a dinner party. Where was this dinner party? Why is he eating placenta? Why are women eating their placentas? If you're pregnant right now, and if you have it in your goddamn on repertoire to goddamn on eat your placenta after your baby is birthed, you had better not. And if you have done it in the past, you need to ask the Lord to forgive you. That is disgusting. That is nasty. That is terrible. How can you as a human being eat a body part, of any kind? To eat a placenta, let's just think about this. Oh, but I had a baby and I'm just doing it to get back the nutrient. I don't care what you telling the people. You nasty son of a person had better stop. Placenta on a bed of white rice. Placenta with white rice and gravy on top. Seared placenta with local organic vegetables, rice pilaf, white wine, and green beans. Does that sound right? Stewed placenta and scrambled eggs for breakfast, with whole wheat toast and a glass of orange juice. Does that sound right? You go into someone's home for the holidays to see family, or let's just say you're practicing an evil Thanksgiving still. You see chicken wings, fish, turkey legs, turkey, macaroni and cheese, greens, and someone in the potluck bought roasted placenta. And you knew she was pregnant. In fact, you went to the baby shower and she came over to your house for the holidays and she brought stewed placenta. It was her placenta from her baby. And she made it with onions, bell peppers, fresh garlic, salt and pepper. How would you feel about that? Does that sound normal? Does that sound normal? And to make it even worse, you know they were eating a medium rare. You know they were eating a medium well. Which is, oh my goodness, I don't even want to get into it. Let's go on. Let's go on. This is called the Cannibal Club Part 2. While researching, Schutt found that the practice of eating the placenta organ that attaches a fetus to the uterine wall and is expelled during birth is common in the animal kingdom, but not among human cultures. Who's being an animal out there? Animals do this. This is not the practice of human beings. So this is the practice of fallen angels. This is the practice of the fallen angel bloodline who made it with birds, who made it with the land of the animals of the land of the sea. This is fallen angels who mix and mingle with the animals. Though you see a human being in front of you who looks human, that human being may not be human. They may have an essence or a bloodline of animal lineage. So yes, they want to eat the placenta in other means and other things. We are not animals. We are human beings. People think it's this ancient Chinese medicinal practice, but it's really an American invention from the 1960s that's gaining popularity again in places like Brooklyn, he says. Now, I want to stop there. Brooklyn, as we know it, is one of the meccas of the world that is filled with Ashkenazi Jews, Orthodox Jewish. No, I don't want to say Jew. Jewish. They're filled with Orthodox Jewish. They're filled with Ashkenazi Jewish. Okay, they have a lot of Jewish synagogues and things of the such. Okay, it's so many Jewish people out in Brooklyn, out in Williamsburg area. Those in New York, y'all know what I'm talking about. So that's pretty interesting to say that this is in Brooklyn. Again, I said these restaurants are in all major cities, and especially the cities of New York. Still, history and anthropology abound with examples of human cannibalism, says Schutt, who defines the practice as broadly as the eating of all or part of another person. And one example, that 180 degrees removed from the cultural values of modern Brooklynites, Chinese children in the Middle Ages occasionally offered up body parts, usually a thigh or upper arm, for their parents to consume as an extreme demonstration of filial piety. It was cooked in a porridge, Schutt says. If you have the appetite for it, here are some more tasty tidbits from Schutt's book. As recently as early 1900s, you could pick up mummia, ground up mummy bones, from local pharmacies in America and Europe. Originally, mummia was made from ancient Egyptians' remains. There we go again with the Egyptians. But once the man picked up, any random dead body would do. Any dead body would do. We're talking about in the early 1900s. They said anybody would do. They were eating mummia. They were eating bones from mummies from Egypt. When they ran out of bones of the mummies in Egypt, they started eating anything from anybody. Anybody would do. Again, there's that ABCD, satisfaction. You have something that they started off with, mummy bones. And then it just came to the point where they ran out and that wasn't enough. Okay, we ate mummies. I want to know what a black person tastes like. All right, we had black. I want to know what white. I want to know what Asian, Indian. I want everything. I want everything that has to do. That's the ABCD I'm talking about. The evil unsatisfaction. They powdered it and made exhalers out of it, he says. You could buy it and use it for a number of different types of sicknesses. In the 17th century, Europeans, in the 17th century, Europeans would line up with cups at public executions to collect the blood of the deceased. Let me stop. So you're telling me that when the slaves were hung on a tree, and you recap online and look at those photos and books, and you saw those crowds of drunken men hurrahing and yelling like they had a rally, and women smiling, and they had their children there, and they had guns and weapons, and the slaves and the Nat Turners of the world were hung on a tree, that they had a cup to collect their blood and drink the essence of them. This reminds me of the Romans. The Romans, and the etymology of the word romance. The Romans had sex with each other as men. And they believe that if they were to take advantage and overcome their enemy, the Romans had a ritual where if they were to capture their enemy, they believed as men that they should rape their enemy, especially if it was a man, that they take the essence on of the man, that when they go inside of the man and finish and have the man well in things, that they take his power away from him and they take on his essence. They take on what's in him. And it was considered a ritual and one of the worst humiliations for the enemy. I don't know if y'all hear me on this. But it makes you wonder about the phrase, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. In so many words, when you break down that song, that has to do with the Romans and it's paganistic and all that stuff, just like Ring Around the Rosie and all that stuff. We're not going to get into that. Let's get back to this. So we know here that the Europeans in the 17th century will line up with cups at public executions to collect the blood of the deceased. We're talking about cannibals, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about blood drinking cannibals. They believe that the more violent the death, the more medicinal value there was in the blood which was used to treat epilepsy, Shutt says. So they tried to make up an excuse for health. They tried to make up an excuse for a violent murder, which was in their heart to be a passionate murder, to kill them the worst way possible, rape them, and drink them, and eat them after they had beat them. It says right here, we're talking about a biologist, pardon me, who is at the American Museum of Natural History. So we're not talking about some mojo guy who made a book. We're talking about someone who is good in academia, who went to an Ivy League university, and who is a representative of America at the Museum of Natural History. This guy, Shutt here. So he's telling us the game of what's been going on, and nothing has changed. Do you sincerely think with everything in you that they stopped doing the practices of the 17th century and the Chinese stopped eating their children? No, the Chinese still eat their children to this day. Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Taiwanese, they eat their children today. Go watch the movie Dumplings if you've never seen it. Why do you think they have a one-child policy in China? You really think that is population control? No. No, it is not. It is a part of their. I don't want to go too far off the link. Listen, we gonna keep it real, keep 100. They have to have it. What do you think happens to all those babies and all those miscarriages from women in China who have more than one baby? No, they take those babies, they sell it on black market, those fetuses, those stillborns, and then a portion of that goes into their diet. And we wonder why their skin looks so smooth. We wonder why they don't age until like late in life. They look so slim and slender because they've taken on the essence of the children. The essence of the infant's fetus. They're putting it in dumplings and stewing it, eating it with rice and veggies. This is the Cannibal Club Part 2. And when they sell it on the black market, when they sell it to businesses and things, a lot of these businesses are mixing the food with the meat that we know today. And we don't know all the time what we're eating. That's why we have to eat organic as much as we can, when we can. And there's nothing wrong with eating meat. But let's go on. Okay, so again, we're recapping that in the 17th century, the Europeans, they lined up with cups at the public execution to collect blood of the deceased. They believed that the more violent the death, the more medicinal value there was in the blood, which was used to treat epilepsy, Schutt says, until they were forced by missionaries and government officials to give up their traditional funeral rites in the 1960s. The Wari people of the Brazilian rainforest ate deceased loved ones in order to process their grief. They were mortified at the concept of they were mortified at the concept of burying their dead. Why would you put your loved ones in the ground to rot and to be eaten by worms? That's their philosophy. But on the other hand, why does the world point the finger at African tribes and tribes that haven't seen any media or any modernism today are the only ones in the world that are cannibalism? Are cannibals. This is not the case. And when we talk about Africans and Judah is different. Africans in the tribe of Benjamin and Levi and Gad Africa is separated from the 12 tribes of Israel. We have nothing to do with that. Africans are different from black today. We are not the same. Africans are the children of Ham, come from the tribe of Ham, the Ham bloodline. Blacks come from the tribe of Shem bloodline. We're completely different. So when they say we were in Africa swinging from trees with bones in our nose, that is not us. Another thing that I want to talk about is that I know someone personally, a very prestigious woman, very elegant, has popular businesses and everything. She's from Mexico, and she practices the Day of the Dead. And every year on her family's birthday, on her father's birthday in particular, and the day that he died, she takes his bones, washes them off, dresses them neatly on the table, and they have dinner. They celebrate the death. I mean, I'm not into that. To each their own. I'm not judging. I'm just telling you what's going on. I'm not into that. That's what they got going on. They take the bones. They keep the bones in the house. They don't even bury them, yo. The skull and everything. And they take them to the table and they prepare a big feast. And they celebrate that. So you have all these different excuses, all these different ways people are on one end. You got the Europeans say that they drank the blood and ate the meat to cure and treat epilepsy in the 1700s. You got people in the 1900s picking up mumia. They eating mummy bones, okay? And they made elixirs out of it. They saying they only bought it, to treat different types of sicknesses. And then you got those in Brooklyn, going to these Brooklyn parties, if you will, are eating it just for the heck of it. But then you have those that are Chinese, quote unquote, in the Middle Ages. They had their children offering up body parts. So what's going on, yo? What's up with the cannibals in the world today? Everybody got an excuse to satisfy their own pleasure when it's completely evil, and try to mask it and make it sound nice. Like, oh, okay. Oh, that's why you eating it. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I understand. So y'all Brazilians in the rainforest, y'all rather eat y'all loved ones than burying them because y'all don't want the worms to eat them. Oh, okay. Okay. I see what you're saying. Doesn't make any sense, right? They're saying they don't want to put their loved ones in the ground to rot with worms, but they rather put their loved ones in their stomach to rot and come out of their bowel. I mean, isn't that even worse? You got celebrities in the celebrity world. They pass their girls around. They, like example, even though Kanye trying to get Kim West back, quote unquote, right? And Kim Kardashian is like, she's not with that. Man, Kim has been passed around so many times. When they go to these parties, and we just get a glimpse of it when you see her in the magazine half naked. If she's like that to us, right? The public, half naked on the magazines, imagine what she's like to the elite behind closed doors. They get passed around like dinner plates, like at a dinner party around there. Look at the video Kanye did. Dang, I can't think of the name. Kanye did a video and told you the truth when he showed him in the bed, with Trump in the bed, with Bill Cosby in the bed, with Molly, what's her name? Taylor Swift, Rihanna, all them. They have sex with everybody. That's one of the things that they do. It's on the top of the list is sex. The interchanging of the life force. Because they want to exchange the fluids to taint the life force, to uphold keeping the secrets, because it's like they do so much defile and evil things that it's like a blackmail against one another. It's a huge ritual, and that's a whole nother story. Let's go back into the Cannibal Club reading here. So, the 4 people of Papua New Guinea also ate their dead, which resulted in the breakout of mad cow disease like illness called Kubru, which peaked in the 1950s. China has a long, well-documented history of culinary cannibalism. One 12th century text made regular reference. Hold on, here it is. Let me start back. 12th century, listen to this. 12th century text made regular reference to dumplings filled with minced human. Did I not just say go watch the movie Dumplings? If you haven't watched it, put it on your list to do. This is not a game. They're still doing it today. Nothing has changed. We're talking about the Cannibal Club. It's a club. The club still goes on no matter you're in it, whether you think it goes on or not, whether you think it exists or not. Clubs still go on. It's not meant for you to know about. It's secret. It's a club. It's for those that are part of it. All right. So they eat mince. They eat dumplings filled with minced human, often political prisoners. Ooh. And another book written in 1423 detailed regional recipes for boiling and steaming human flesh. Let's wrap it up with that as far as the reading for the Cannibal Club. So what do we know so far? We know that this still goes on today, that there's still people eating people all across the world. We know that Goliath was a giant, and Goliath was from the fallen angel bloodline, and that he was also a cannibal. We know that giants have 6 fingers, 6 toes, and that there is a bloodline that still goes on today of people who have either 6 fingers or 6 toes, or they have the essence of a giant, like Matumbo, like Shaq, like Yao Ming, people of the such. They may not have 6 fingers or 6 toes, but they come from a fallen angel bloodline. We also know that we are created from the dust of the world, and that the snake, Satan, the serpent, Lucifer, is also eating the dust of the world. He's eating humans. Him and his fallen angels. They're eating human beings, the life force. Okay? We know that people go missing, and they're either raped, they're either eaten. We know that during high evil days, these paganistic holidays that people celebrate in this world today, and around the equinoxes, that there are rituals being taken place of human sacrifice, of blood sacrifice. There's this, and I pray that they're well and they're alive and that they're in a safe place. But there's this video about these 2 children from the UK. They had to be under the age of 10. And it was just very sad if the video's still up. But they were talking about pedophilia and how they were passed throughout the industry, elite, from their school at a private school. Their dad was a politician and their mom was like a regular person. And in so many words, the mom found out what was going on and tried to put her husband under the jail. But with his political ties, he had no fault. He got no time or nothing like that. But the children, these children that are under 10 years old, when they talked about it at the time, confessed how at their school, they were being molested and they were going to these ritual and sexual parties where their dad made them hold a dagger in their hand and kill other children, and they would drain the blood from these children and eat their blood, and they would barbecue the meat, these elite, and they would share it with the children and share it with the elite, and they had sex with them, which is so evil. They all need to be killed. They all need to be killed. And stories like this exist today that we don't hear about, that is under the radar in the everyday news. This stuff is not on the mainstream news because they don't want the world to go crazy. But it's still going on today. You have to wonder why things happen the way they do. Why do people go missing? What's really going on with the food? Why is stuff being recalled all the time? Why do we hear about every now and then there's like a finger stuck in the food? It's not because somebody in the factory dang near all the time is sticking their hand in the factory machine and getting chopped up. Why is a tooth found in people's meal? Why is things of the such? We're talking about eyeballs. We're talking about human body parts found in pieces of meat. We have to question these things because they want to make, not only are they cannibals and they want to eat what they eat because they have to, if you will, but they want the world to be just like them. I shared this story years ago about how I worked at this elite restaurant. I didn't think it was as elite as it was, but this is when I first found out about secret rooms in the hospitality industry. So in hotels, in a lot of the cities, there are not only rooms, but there are floors that no one else can go to but the elite. So, and we're going to get to the story in a minute, but it makes you wonder, like, have you ever thought about, you know, does the mayor or of my city go out to nightclubs? Where do they go out to dinner? Do they always just eat at home? Or do they always just go potluck and eat with the commissioners and the, the senators and the aldermans of the city and things of the such? I never see them really go out. You may see them every now and then at a restaurant, but they have clubs that they're a part of where they eat like kings and queens. Okay. They even have a nightlife that they get to go to. That we don't know about. We have you got the exoteric, you got the exo-indo, okay, or whatever. They have pardon me. You have exoteric and esoteric. We have our museums that we go to in the regular world, and our nightlife and our restaurants, and then you have esoteric, the stuff that's in the inner. That they have museums that they go to where they have giant bones in the Smithsonian that we'll never ever get to see. They have, the cloaks that Adam and Eve wore, that the Most High made. They have that in Vatican City in the catacombs. They have all this, these cannibalistic restaurants, these ritual clubs and things that we don't know about. So I want to share with you that when I went to this place, I was a server at the time. And I applied for the job because the money that you make just starting out, this was unheard of. Because now, even to this day, servers only make like $2.35? I don't think a server makes more than $2 or $3 an hour. But as a server, just starting out, and I didn't have any serving experience. I can only imagine if I had more experience as a server, but I went in with no experience as a server, making $11 an hour plus tip. And when I say tip, we're talking about tips that you get from elite. I'm not talking about $5 and $10. I'm talking about a Rolex at the end of the year, $5,000 check, around a holiday, $10,000 check, stuff like that. I'm talking about big money, big tips. That type of deal. Okay, so I went into this, I applied for this place. I was a server, and it was a restaurant that was on the 15th floor of the hotel. The hotel was only known to have 14 floors, right? That you can only have access to a guest. You cannot get to any of these floors without access. There's a completely different access for, the workers and the elite to get to. Okay. On the 15th floor was the restaurant. On the 16th floor is the nightclub. Nightclub, soundproof, can't hear anything. You can't get there as a regular person. This is I'm talking about in elite hotels. In most hotels, not every hotel, but most very, very nice hotels have this. Okay. Mostly the ones with a lot of rooms, like over 1,000 rooms, over 500 rooms or better. Okay. All right. So, pardon me, I'm eating an olive. It's pitted. I'm trying to get rid of the seed. My bad for smacking. Okay. So, I'm at this restaurant, right? 15th floor. I get in there. Full spread. I'm talking about the tables are decked with gold silverware. The carpets are plush. They look better than the one on Shark Tank. You can tell they were artisan-made carpets, handmade. We're talking about the best of the best of the best. Full spread of a 20-foot long table full of like 10 different cheeses, hard block cut rolls of cheese, like 5 different grapes. We talking about them big grapes, the ones with the seeds in them. You wonder where all the seeded grapes go. Every time we go to the store, it's seedless grapes. Even if they're organic, they're taking the seed out of everything, man. Yo, They have beef. They have rabbit. They have deer. They have a pig with the apple in his mouth on the table. All this is on this 20-foot table. From different rices, fruits and vegetables, chicken. And they have chefs with those tall hats that are slicing it on demand. This is for the elite now. And I was working at this place. So one day I'm at the restaurant and there's this family and a mixed party, not a like race as a mixed party, but just a mixed party of people. It was a family that was at the table, and it was just like other guests with this family, right? So the first thing that happened, I was serving sweet tea to everybody. You know, in the South, they love that sweet tea now. I'm serving sweet tea to everybody and unsweet tea and providing waters on the table. And as I pour water for this girl's drink, the girl got to be like 8 years old. Caucasian girl. Everybody there is Caucasian. There's not one black person there. Okay. At this table, this girl is drawing this reptilian figure standing up. We're talking about an 8-year-old girl. This is one of the strangest things I've ever seen. She has color pencils and she's drawing this green reptilian snake, like humanoid creature. It's like a snake with 2 legs, with scales, a snake tongue, and yellow eyes, like Michael Jackson Thriller when he looked back. And she was drawing this and color penciling this at the table, like freehand drawing it. Her mom said, "Put that away. I told you not to draw that." No, she didn't say I told you not to draw it. She said, "Put that away." And she snatched the paper from her daughter, folded it up. And then her daughter was like, "Sorry." You know what I mean? That was the first fishy part. So, I go to another table. I'm like, man, that was weird, I go to another table, same night. I'm giving them their drinks. It's a mixed party of all ages. You have some that are in their 70s, and the lowest age at the table is a 5-year-old. Everybody at the table ordered rare meat. They ordered rare steak, not cooked. Some of them had it seared. They wanted the chef they had a chef request to have it seared no more than 1 minute. They just wanted it seared on the top. But the entire table ate rare, and I mean 100% rare, for the most part, beef steak, if that was beef. It looked like beef. I ain't saying it wasn't beef. I don't know. But when they ate it, as they started to eat, everybody was fine. They was dressed nice. They had on suits. The women, they had on their sorority pop collars and pearls and things. So everybody looked nice. They looked good. They was dressed up. Dressed to impress. Tell me why, after about 5-10 minutes, the entire table started to smell like fish. And no one had seafood. There was no shrimp. There was no crab. I was the server. There was no one ordered seafood. Everybody had steak. Everybody had vegetables, roll, sweet tea, water. And they ended up getting coffee and dessert. No seafood. Okay? The entire table smelled like a can of sardines that's been sitting for days. And the problem is that when these reptilians, when these fallen angels, when their bloodline, okay, when they start to eat meat, they start to smell like fish. So you have the world trying to model their ways of living, if you will. Some people do want to be vegans because they want to be vegans and they want to see what it's like. Some people may have health issues. Some people may want to be a vegetarian for the sake of saving the world, if you will. Some people may want to be pescatarian for whatever reasons. But there is a reason why a majority of people are vegetarians and vegans, and that is because they're from a fallen angel bloodline and they have to maintain that vegan diet by majority, because when they eat meat, they start to smell like fish. They will have problems keeping their human-like structure in our world, and they'll start morphing. Okay? We'll start to see characteristics of literal reptilian beings when they start to eat that stuff. It's not because of their diet. Okay? The scripture says, for those that know the truth, know that it's okay to eat meat. But in latter times, a lot of people are going to go to shall abstain from meat. And that's what's going on. It's like a trend. It's like a fad. People are doing it because just to do it. And then again, a lot of people are doing it because they're reptilians and are part of the reptilian bloodline. All right. So, man, it's just a trip, though. I mean, from the restaurants and these establishments to their nightclubs, I want to save that for the sex conventions and the Truth About the Evergrande show, because I could really go in more about the things that I've seen in the hospitality world. But that show's to come. This one is about Cannibal Part 2. So, with that being said, I just want to remind you to stay fervent in prayer, stay holy, try to eat as good as you can. There's nothing wrong with eating meat, but try to look for the best meat. Try to look for real local farms of your city. All right. Let's try to abstain from a lot of the fast food stuff. Chicken is okay, but even some chickens got 8 wings on them, and a chicken only supposed to have 2 wings. Some chickens are grown with like 8 or 20 wings on one body, and they probably oozing with blue cheese and celery with them. You know what I mean? Like literally. I know this job sounds nasty, and it is nasty, but they'll do anything to make $1. Anything to save $1. So not all chicken is even good. You know, some of them sit in one spot for so long they got a bruise on their thighs and their feet and legs and stuff. So when you're looking for chicken, look for like bruise marks. If you buying chicken and it has gray like marks on it or purple like marks on it, that chicken has been sitting too long in one spot in cages. And you got other chickens putting feces droppings on them, and they just let them eat and they feed them whatever. So they like really fat, like robust chickens for a low price. But you're looking at a chicken that has had a bad life. Okay. So, with that being said, let's take a pause for the cause. I hope you're enjoying the show. This is the Cannibal Club Part 2. We're going to take a pause. We're going to take a little break. We're going to turn up a little bit. Then we're going to come back and do Not on the Mainstream News. And then we'll do a take on that about what's going on. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And you need to know about it, because the blackout is coming. And like I've said before, I can't say it enough. You need to prepare for yourself and your family. You need to have food. You need to have batteries. You need to have lights. You need to change your password from a 2FA to an MFA. Instead of a 2-factor authenticator, you need a multi-factor authenticating password. At least, at minimum, if you don't do anything else, you need to change your password to 12 characters that you can remember, because the cyber attack is also coming. The stock market is going to crash. Listen, we'll talk about that and more, but in regards to food, eat organic. Be back in a minute. One. Hold up. I got a lot to say. Hold up. Run that back. Hold up. Hold up. I got a lot to say. Hold up. Run that back. Hold up. I got a lot to say. Hold up. Run that back. Hold up. I got a lot to say. Yeah. Hold up. I don't like no GMOs. I don't like no non-organic chicken, and I don't eat no shrimp, and I don't eat no crab. Hold up. I don't eat no catfish. I don't eat no oysters, bruh. Go ahead and carry that on. I'm organic, bruh. I don't like... Hold up. I don't think you hearing me. I like good juice. I like good food. I know this sound bizarre, but I'ma keep it real with you. Hold up. Would you as a person like take a Coca-Cola and pour it in the flower plant like Coca-Cola. So if a plant could drink Coca-Cola and die, what if we keep on drinking Coca-Cola and die? So like, I ain't saying I don't like no Coke. I don't do no dope, but I'm saying though, if I drink that H2O, keep drinking that good H2O, and if I'm a plant, that plant's a plant, then that's some good H2O. So I don't want no organic stuff. Hold up, I don't like no GMOs. I'm all organic, bruh. I don't like no GMOs. I'm all organic, bruh. I don't like no GMOs. I'm all about organic, bruh. While we in the stove and they putting beef in, while we in the stove, man, and they putting pork and gummy bears. While we in the stove and they putting pork and leather, man. Hold up, while we in the stove, bruh, they putting pork and basketball. Hold up, while we in the stove, bruh, they putting food. I don't think y'all hear me though. Hold up. Bruh, I don't like no cow's milk, but I ain't lying, I love ice cream. I don't like that cow's milk. In my fridge is almond milk, cashew, macadamia, the good stuff. I like the good stuff. I drink juice out of wine glass. You heard me, bruh? I drink my juice out of wine glasses. On a random day, I throw on a bow tie, and I ain't even no Muslim, bruh. Squash that. I'm straight Jew, bruh. You gotta know that. You my bro, you my sis. You gotta know that. If you a Joe, hold up. If you a Jew, then you are my bro. And if you are a Jew, then you are my sis. So I don't like no organic stuff. I'm all organic, bruh. I don't like no GMOs. I'm all organic, bruh. I don't like no GMOs. I'm all organic, bruh. I don't like GMOs. I don't like no fake food. Straight up. And I don't like no fake people. Straight up. And I don't like no rude people. Hold up. Straight up. I'ma keep it real with you. I'ma keep it straight up. I'ma keep it real. I'ma keep it real. Yeah, I'ma keep it real. I don't like no GMOs. I'm organic, bruh. I don't like no GMOs. I'm organic, bruh. Yeah. I was gonna stop the beat, but it's good that I keep on going, and it's good that I keep on flowing, cause the freestyle keep on going. The freestyle keep on going, the beat just keep on going. So I'm gonna keep on flowing. Yeah. We living in the age where robots, robocops, forget all that. I like real people. I like real food. I like real conversation, not prudes. Why we always on the phone though? Why we can't put the phone down and have a real conversation though? Everywhere I go, you go into a business, we on the phone. We walking on the streets, we on the phone. We on the bus, we on the phone. What happened to the non-GMOs? I'm organic, bruh. I don't like GMOs. I'm organic, bruh. I don't like GMOs. I'm organic. I'm pretty sure he has a fro. Oh, fake Jew with your afro, you need to cut it. You got dreads, you need to cut it. You got a fro, You need to cut it. Your job application says that you need to be groomed. So go and get some scissors and go and get some clippers. Go and cut your hair, especially on the side. And go and get the broom and sweep it up. Yeah, keep it up. Keep dyeing your skin. Yeah, keep it up. Dark skin, yo, brown skin. Now you light skin. We like that. So keep it up. Yo, fake Jew. Yo, fake Jew. You a fake Jew. All y'all dark people fake Jews. You fake Jews. You a fake Jew. Fake Jew. You a fake Jew. With your wool hair and your brass feet. I'm so glad y'all was in chains. I'm so glad we put brass on your feet. And now y'all still love change. Ha ha. I wanna laugh, but I'ma hold it back. Tongue in cheek. We own everything. Everything. Y'all don't need no reparations. Y'all don't need anything. Yo, fake Jew. You fake Jew. Yo, fake Jew with your afro. You fake Jew. And your dark skin. Yo, fake Jew. Good at sports. Dancing self, yo, fake Jew. Yo, rhythm having self, yo, fake Jew. We're from Africa. We know Cleopatra. Elizabeth Taylor, yes, we know Cleopatra. We made Cleopatra. We made gods of Egypt. In fact, we are Egypt. Yeah, y'all was there. Building them pyramids, if that's true. Hold up. See, there I go. Hold up, no. See, there you go. If black people built the pyramids, then that means that we the Hebrews. I'm a Hebrew. I'm a Hebrew. I'm not a fake Jew. I rep mine, and my hair not cut. My hair not cut, and my beard not cut. I got mine. I got my blue. I keep my blue. At the bottom. At the bottom. N15. 3-8. Read that. Search that. Find that. N15. 3-8. Yo, fake Jew. With your wool hair. And your brass skin. Yo, fake Jew. You a fake Jew. Oh, dread having self, you know, yo, fake Jew. Oh, nappy headed. Oh, nappy behind. Oh, nappy head looking. Fake Jew. Fake Jew. I'm not a fake Jew. I'm a Hebrew. I'm not a fake Jew. Yo, fake Jew. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you. I love you. This is amazing. My little sister going to the 8th grade. I'm happy. I'm happy. Hey, I remember holding you when you got out the hospital. You don't remember that? I remember when Mom brought you home and I saw your little nose, and you don't remember that. Holding you when you was about 4 years old, then you turned 5. I remember when you lost your first tooth and they first came in, and I was like, wow. Oh my, little sister is growing up real fast. I can't believe she's in math class, in science class, and learning algebra. Oh my goodness, I remember the other night I tried to help you with your homework and I couldn't work with you. I mean, I couldn't even let you know that. I mean, I didn't know that problem. That was kind of hard. I remember when you wanted your first perm. Now you got your fro growing real nice and it look real good. Hey, I gotta school you though. If the boys trying to talk to you, the first thing they need to do is meet your bro. Cause I'ma talk to them. I'ma make sure they right. And don't ever mess with a young man if If it's mine not right, little sister. And my other sister with the kids, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I know I don't say it a lot, but I'm proud of you. Raising all the kids. Raising my nieces and nephews. I thank you, and I'm proud to see that the woman that you are. Yeah, this your brother freestyling. This your brother freestyling on the song right now. The whole album is called The Freestyle. So you can laugh, yeah, you can laugh, laugh. I'm just happy, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all my sisters, yeah. And I can't wait till the day you get married. I'ma be there. And I hope that your big brother catch the bouquet, yeah.
We are go for launch. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, and we're back. Yours truly, Michael Israel, with Real TV. Hope you're enjoying the show thus far. Today is another day for a good one. Wednesday, December 15th, Las Vegas, Nevada, and we doing the thing. So we're going to start with not on the mainstream news. And not on the mainstream news, multiple workers trapped after collapse at Amazon warehouse in Edwardsville. Our thoughts are with the employees trapped at an Amazon warehouse in Edwardsville, Illinois. Massive structural piece collapsed due to a tornado. There are reports that there could be 50 to 100 people inside the building. Several dozen emergency crews at the Amazon warehouse on Gateway Commerce Center Drive. About a third of the warehouse is torn down and damaged from either straight by line winds or tornado. People who have family members inside say people are trapped. My condolences go for those in that area and other parts of the world, because we know that there are natural disasters and there are governmental disasters. And I hope and pray that those who do make it through can become closer with the Most High and will be healthy, will have a peace of mind after therapy, because I know it causes PTSD. Their life is completely changed physically, both mentally and spiritually and financially. We just hope the best for them and everyone across the world that has situations of the such. In regards to Omi and Kovi, there's a video that we're going to do shortly on Real TV about the breakdown, if it goes up, about the vax, what's in it. I will see if I could put it together, because it's crazy. Fauci and Zuckerberg had a meeting about what's really in the vaccine. And not only what's in the vaccine, but the after effects of it. Now, I did a show earlier in the year of spring. I pinpointed exactly, and I said exactly what was going to happen, and the video never made it to Tube. It's on Spreaker, but the Tube shut it down. And come to find out, what I was saying was absolutely true. So this excerpt has a little music to it, but if you could listen past the instrumental, listen to what they're saying, Fauci in particular, when he talks about the vaccine being something that could be an issue. Listen to this.
First time, if it happened, that
a vaccine that looked good in initial safety actually made people worse. It was the history of the respiratory syncytial virus vaccine in children, which paradoxically made the children worse. One of the HIV vaccines that we tested several years ago actually made individuals more likely to get infected.
All right. So in that excerpt, we caught a brief moment of it. Again, I'm going to do a video presentation on that down the line if it's allowed to post. But as you can see here, Fauci said that this is not the first time if the vac does not work. He said this wouldn't be the first time. Now, we know it takes about 6 or 7 years for something like this to be created and approved. This was created and approved from a recipe derived by China that was tweaked in a matter of 60 days. Despite that, let's just talk a little bit more. I mean, like, if you still need a booster after being fully vaxxed, and you still need to get tested after being fully vaxxed, and you still need to wear a mask after being fully vaxxed, and you still can transmit the virus after being fully vaxxed, and one more and you still can be hospitalized after being fully vaxxed. It's probably time that you admit that you've been conned. Now, the third dose increases the immunity. So after the fourth dose, you are protected. Once 90% of the population has received the fifth dose, then the restrictions can be relaxed, and then the sixth dose stops the virus from spreading. Okay, so you got to be calm, and you got to believe that the seventh dose is going to solve our problems, and we don't have no reason to fear the eighth dose. Now, the clinical phase of the ninth dose confirms that the antibodies remain stable after the 10th dose, and the 11th dose guarantees that no mutations will develop, so there's no longer any reason to criticize the idea of the 12th dose. So, which dose are you on? Because the narrative keeps changing. It's what the people want, unfortunately. In scripture, just to catch up really quick, because we know that Christmas Eve is coming and people are still a part of it. They're still going to spend that money for Christmas. People are still prepping, and they're going to call it Happy New Year's Day. People have plans to watch the wall drop on TV, on their phones, in the city itself. And the Lord talks very distinctly, very clearly about what he hates and how he hates this. He hates this. In the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell your solemn assemblies. People are going to be cooking it up. People are going to be having feasts, just like some have had feasts on Thanksgiving, some have feasts on 4th of July, and things of the such. They're holidays, aka holy days, or anti-holy days, that were created to get us away from the Most High. We can also read the book of Hosea, chapter 2 and 11, pardon me, to get more fruit from the scripture. We talking about Halloween. We talking about your Merry Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Happy Valentine, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. Okay? But we talk a lot about what's not on the mainstream news, and one of the things that is on the mainstream news right now is this Omicron and Delta variant. You have people who are questioning things now. They're starting to wake up. Those who have got the shot are starting to wake up. And it's almost too late for those to make amends with their body to reverse the effects to come that are detrimental. Now, shouts out to Adam for the info, but you can actually get rid of those toxins, and you can remove the graphene oxide from the blood, okay, through electrocoagulation and neodymium magnet extraction. This is a little weird, but you could go on the tube and you could look up Catholicos cycleology. Is a way to remove graphene oxide from the blood. It's a long thing to talk about, so I don't want to press too much on that. But the information is out there. That's one way to get rid of those toxins. Okay. Another is you can eat things like cilantro. I'm not a dietitian or physician, so a disclaimer. Research. These are my opinions. You can eat cilantro. You can eat a lot of leafy greens. You can get Swedish bitters. You can eat a teaspoon of that first thing in the morning on an empty stomach to help rid of the toxins. You can get Asiac tea, which will help detox the body. You can go on a fast, drink water, and eat only sea moss for 3 to 5 days. And after that, you can eat one of the first things you probably would want to eat is whole wheat bread and maybe a handful of figs, or if you can eat that much. I would just say 1 slice of bread and maybe 2 or 3 figs as soon as you come off of a fast to get your body nutritionalized, or maybe a half of a boiled egg. Nothing too crazy. You don't want to put too much pressure on your stomach, and you don't want to put bad food in your body after fasting. Like, you don't want to eat a bag of Doritos. You don't want to eat a hamburger and fries. You want to put good things in your body once it has detox. You can also use bentonite clay, which is something that I keep in the pantry called Aztec Healing Clay. That you can get, from Whole Foods, ourherb.com, whatever. It's no endorsement. And it's not too much. You can take a pinch of that and put that in your smoothie. That will help pull heavy metals from your body. You can also take carbonated pills. You can add a little bit of activated carbon to your diet. The only thing is with that, you want to be careful of inhaling activated carbon powder, which is very bad for the lungs. You don't accidentally want to do that. You just want to make sure you're covered, protected when you're around that or handling that. But you got people who are questioning COVID right now, questioning the Omi right now. They're trying to understand this. People who are double vaccinated, okay? Double vaccinated. And then the next few days or the next month, they fall ill with COVID, okay? Or not only that they catch COVID, but they pass it on to their family or to their loved ones. And they starting to question, how will a vaccine passport protect society, right? So if you have a person that's vaccinated, okay, if a person that's vaccinated catches COVID or Omi and they're vaccinated and they pass it on to a family member or a loved one, this genetic mutation, how is it that they qualify to receive a vaccine passport? Does anyone understand that? If you can still catch it and you can still get it and pass it on, how is it and why is it you get a vaccine passport? It doesn't make any sense. The passport is just a ledger that's created to morph into the mark of the beast. They want people to get fake paperwork. They want people to get fake COVID passports. superstars are doing it. They're getting caught with it. And then people can get it off the dark web, or creative digital artists, graphic artists can create that same thing and print it out for you. So they starting off with the old ancient classic paper, and they're gonna be like, they're trying to make it seem like they're thinking about this actively. No, but it's all a plan. Just like cash, credit card, crypto, and then the mark of the beast. This is like paperwork, vaccine. All right, get rid of paperwork. And then, all right, we're going to do a digital vaccine card. All right, now that we did digital, now you get the chip. That's all it leads to. They want your money and your health information all on one card, all on one chip. Watch Demolition Man. Okay. There was a Saudi Arabian years ago, about 7-10 years ago. He was a scientist who created and designed a patent to put cyanide into a rice grain sized chip. And this cyanide, once activated, explodes into the body and kills the individual. He tried to get a patent for this in Germany, and they denied him. That was back then. I haven't followed up with them since to see if it's been accepted, but you know that it has. Because at the end of the day, as mentioned, they want to put your health and your wealth all in one place. And if you don't do what they say, they turn your chip off. Your money's gone. Don't you hate being out of city, or you in your own town and you use your card and maybe you bought too many online purchases, or maybe you did too many transactions in a day, and you go out to eat, or you go to a place of business and they say your card is declined. You're like, what? My card is declined? I got plenty of money on my card. You tripping, Oh yeah, you want to call your bank or whatever. So you call the bank, or you sign into your email notification, or you get the text, and you confirm that you indeed are who you are and where you are at. Okay, and you confirm the transaction, Joe. That's with little money, man. That's with little money. They freeze your account now for nothing. Just imagine when a chip is in a person's body and they don't do what the government says, or the government wants to lock down an individual or a portion of the country. All it takes is a click of a button. That's all it takes. Let's go forward with Not on the Mainstream News, because I could do a whole show just on that alone. But I mean, before we go on to the Not on the Mainstream News, these same people that are implementing these chips in the future, and the mark of the beast to be, okay, they're the same ones that warn us about the rising sea levels, and they're buying beach properties. They're the same ones who warn us about the COVID, warn us about the Omicron, and they're the same one throwing parties and taking vacations. These are the same people who are telling us to give up our guns, that will make us safe, but yet they hire armed security. So do you get it? Do you get what's going on here? Do you see the pattern of things? These instances are not just happenings. They're all planned creations. Again, like examples to mention, going from radio to black and white TV, to color box TVs, to flat screen TVs, to HD screen TVs, to Blu-ray, to 4K, to 8K, and more. Now it's the metaverse. Let's go on. Not on the mainstream news. Are y'all enjoying the show thus far? Hope you're having a good time. Not on the mainstream news. We got a lot to cover here. Again, you want to keep your things up to date. You want to be aware of the cyber attacks to come. There's a dangerous Android scam that drains your bank account with one phone call. Android device owners now have another scam to watch out for as dangerous malware campaign spreads to new regions. Cybersecurity experts from Cleafy say that they have seen a spike in Android remote access Trojan rat infections over the past year. According to Cleafy, Brada, a malware first discovered in Brazil, has made its way to Italy. Hackers are using the Trojan to steal banking details from Android users and then drain their bank accounts. First, the threat actor sends a SMS text message containing a link to a website. The text appears to be from the bank. This is a tactic known as smishing, phishing with SMS. The victim clicks the link. The site they visit will prompt them to download an anti-spam app. The site also tells the victim a bank operator will contact them to soon discuss the app they're downloading. This is where Brada stands apart from other common Android malware campaigns. Man, this thing goes on to say more. If you get a device, if you get a text on your device to say download an app, come on, man. Listen, let's not be silly and take that risk. Need I say more? Do I need to really read this article for its entirety? Beware of scams. Beware of UPS men dressing at your door saying you got a package. You got to keep one eye open around these people. UPS, FedEx. Y'all seen that video of that FedEx guy? That black guy that had that girl in the back of the van? Had that prostitute. He had sex with a prostitute in the back of the FedEx van. Did you see that? But I'm just saying, though, just in general with deliveries, when you're going home, when you're getting off work, get late and stuff, be mindful, be prayerful, be tactical if needed. If you carry mace, have it ready. You know what I mean? Just beware, because the holiday season, people like to steal, people like to rape, people like to kill. They do it all times of the year, but a lot more goes on now. People want to boost, people want to shine, people want to give gifts, people want to steal to sell to get money, and you know how it goes. That Louis Vuitton raid they had not too long ago out in Cali, they stealing so much merchandise. Man, the big heads know about that stuff, because you know why? It's a loss. They count it as a loss for the end of the year. They get a little plea deal with the police to get with the gangs, to get the leaders of the gangs to go and take a hit for the store, and they'll make sure that everybody get away with it. It's a win-win. The boosters and the gangs get away with merchandise and goods. They get to sell it for the low. They get to look fresh as they dress. But then you got the businesses that get to do a tax write-off because they got a loss. They got insurance on all that stuff, so they can care less. Yeah, they trying to sell it. Yeah, it counts as a loss for them in their quarter readings about how much they made compared to other companies they're competing against. But when at the end of the day, when it boils down to it, they're making more money next year because of the steal. It's in their interest for people to steal because they can write it off and everything is insured. Need I say more? Not on the mainstream news. More than 5 million people should prepare for a possible nocturnal tornado. The calendar may be nearing winter, but the winter is set to serve up severe thunderstorms capable of producing several tornadoes and into the overnight hours for more than 25 million people from Texas to Ohio. I want to tell you and remind you that IBM owns the Weather Channel. So if you think that all of this is only just the Most High alone, he allows, remember, okay, Satan is the prince and power of the air of this world. That's scripture. He is allowing Satan to do certain things. Satan has to get permission. And the Lord allows Satan to do things, and then the Lord steps in and he takes care of things. However, when it comes for us to get past this world and we're in heaven, just imagine. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what the Lord has in store for those who love him. We have no idea what the Lord wants for us and has for us. It's so good that Satan try to kill everybody in the world. He don't care how he do it. He want to kill you. He want to kill me. He don't want us to go. And by all means necessary, he trying to get everybody to go to hell. He want us to enjoy earth here as much as we can. So we have no thoughts to the afterlife. He want to make this as sexualized, as humanized, lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh as much as he can so we can get our minds off of heaven. And the thing is that when we get there, it's beyond our wildest dreams. If they in this world today are trying to get the masses of the world to be creators now all of a sudden they don't want people to go to work, right? If you think about it, they're trying to shift the paradigm. They're trying to get they're trying to get the world off of work and get the world back to creating. Well, instead of teaching us in school all our lives about this dumb calculus and physics and stuff, and not teaching us to be who we are, not teaching us how to plant, not teaching us how to shoot, not teaching us how to fish. They teaching us this dumb stuff to get a degree from college, to work a 9 to 5, to be in their career field. They don't want that anymore because it's the transhumanism era. They want us to become robotic. The robots are going to take on our jobs. And since the robots are going to take on our jobs, in the meanwhile, they want us to be creators for their metaverse, for their imaginary world, their imaginary heaven, because in the metaverse, anything goes. When you watch Black Mirror and you see that sex scene with two men that are having sex, that is trying to be a heterosexual couple, they're just in the metaverse. One was a woman, one was a man, and the man thought the woman was a woman, but the woman was not a woman. She was a man. They both were men, and they both were having homosexual sex. The list goes on about these different types of experiences of the world to come, but I'm just saying all that to say this. If the Lord will grant Satan to be the prince of power of the air in this world and let him do this stuff, which is evil, just imagine what he will let you do in your own world. You'll be able to create your own reality, your own world, your own thing. I'm just assuming it can be beyond that. We have no idea because the scripture says eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. I'm just trying to imagine, but eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. Satan said himself that he will be just like the Most High. He's trying to be just like the Most High, but he'll never be, and he can't. Anyways, IBM creates the weather. They just doing a lot, man. So just stay prayed up. And my condolences go for those that are in trouble. You have to be prepared for this winter season, because with all these storms, there was a Natural Disaster Act that was passed as soon as Biden got into office. And this act covers all cities in the USA to be covered with billions of dollars in grants. It is in their interest for them to have their city in destruction, because it's again a write-off for all of 2021 who had troubles with weather and even running into 2022. Okay? So, with that being said, for those that are in stocks, I'm not a financial advisor. You should probably go see a broker. I just do my own research and information, and I invest in these things. But when it comes to these issues, you probably will want to invest in oil, energy, vitality assets, and also the US dollar. Bitcoin and the US dollar are contrary to one another. When Bitcoin goes up, the United States dollar goes down. When the United States dollar goes up, Bitcoin goes down. So they're contrary to one another. But then on the other hand, you have altcoins, which are alternative coins to Bitcoin. Altcoin is just another term that's considered an alternative coin. So instead of Bitcoin, you have altcoins like Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, which are tied to the American dollar. So when the American dollar goes up, Shiba goes up, Dogecoin goes up, things of the such. Then you have stable coins like Ethereum and Cardano, Polkadot, things of the such that are stable coins that are attached to Bitcoin. I hope I'm not losing you here. But when Bitcoin goes up, they are tethered. Stable coins are tethered to Bitcoin. Altcoins are tethered to the US dollar. Another altcoin that is tethered to the US dollar is called Hex, which is another good investment. So that means that when the stock market crash, and mark my words on this, it will crash 75 to about 90%. Bitcoin is going to go down to about $10,000 to $15,000 a pop. But I'll say, no, I'll take that back. I'll say between 10 G's and 20 G's a pop. When it goes down, I'm buying the dip. Okay, it will go down. Whether that be Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, revealing himself, whether it be a cyber attack, whether it be a market crash, whatever it is, or if it's that cycle where it's that time for Bitcoin to be volatile again, after it goes down, it's going back up. When Bitcoin goes down between 10 and 20 G's, if you have the means to buy the dip, buy the dip. When it comes to investing, you don't have to buy the entire coin. You could buy a fraction of it. If you only got 2 G's to put in there, put 2 G's. If you only got a G, if you only got $100, then let it be. It'll grow. But you don't have to buy the full coin. You can buy a fraction of it. Okay? And I do suggest a hot wallet. Now, once that goes up, it's going to hit between 100 G's to about $140,000 for Bitcoin. Ethereum is projected to hit between 20,000 plus. Okay? Ethereum will eventually outperform Bitcoin because Ethereum has a lot going on right now. Their involvement with NFTs, their involvement with smart contracts is just off the meat rack right now. Bitcoin is developing in the future NFTs and smart contracts, which are going to be insane. They're both scarcity values, and if you have the means to again invest, that is my recommendation. I place my disclaimer. Also another thing, Exxon Mobil, we're talking about oil, marathon oil, any type of crude oil right now is a good investment because when the stocks do go up, the ones that will go up will be these in particular. We're talking about JP Morgan and Bank of America are bullish on these right now. The ones that you shouldn't be interested in at this moment are stocks like Tesla, Google, Apple, Microsoft. Those type of retail stocks are not the place to be right now. Those are going to be volatile in this season because when things hit the fan, the only things that are going to matter when the blackout hit comes, and it will come again, as I said, or the cyber attack, is energy, oil, volatile, real assets, and the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is going to go up. Remember when Trump got into office and when we first shut down, they purchased billions of barrels of oil from the Middle East, from Saudi Arabia and all that stuff at a very cheap, low, and affordable cost. And they got that stuff sitting on back stock. So they're going to make their money back. Okay? They're going to make their money back. You can believe it. Okay? So, those are my take on that. I'm bullish on Shiba. I'm bullish on, what else right now? Shiba Inu in particular. If you even just got $50 just to put in, that'll probably right now at the value of the coin today, which is at, I haven't looked at it, but I'm certain it's probably between 33 and 36 cents a pop. That can get you about 1 million coins. If that 1 million hit the 10 cents, you're sitting at 10 G's. If $50 can get you 10 G's, why not? Right? I'm bullish on Shiba. All right? Which is set to take off between now and spring. I always used to work 2 or 3 jobs all the time. I used to stay keeping a job. You know what I mean? I had to keep that money coming in. It's just something I always did. So when we shut down, I didn't have a second job. Though we had that little 500 stimulus coming in, I was like, man, I'm trying to get this paper. How else can I get it? So I researched stocks. As you know, I'm a professional researcher. I've been one for years now. Okay, I'm a researcher since what? 2005? If you think about it, we're all researchers. How many projects we had to do in school? How many papers we had to write, right? Without doing plagiarism and things of the such. So we're all researchers in a sense. But again, I've researched stocks, crypto, bonds, dividends for about 2 or 3 months. I watched videos. I read articles. I did the work. I did some investments at the time in NEO, when Neo was $2.36 a pop. I bought a bundle of it. That same year when COVID struck, in May of that year, I bought a little bit of Neo. The Neo that I bought flipped to 9Gs. If I would have bought $500, just $500 worth of Neo at the time, that $500 would have flipped to about $72,000. But at the time, I made other decisions with the money. With the shutdown, I was dressing my place. I was getting new furniture. I was buying organic food. I was doing things like that, paying off bills, etc. And I didn't make the investment. When I invested at the time, when I did my research, I invested in Doge because I knew it was going to be a thing, and it still will be. I invested in Doge, and at that time, I only invested about $400 in Doge. Different increments. That Dogecoin flipped to $36,000 in that same year, 8 months down the line. So again, I'm bullish on Doge. I'm bullish on Shiba. Some of those are in my portfolio. Also have at this moment oil, crude oil, energy, American Eagle, Coca-Cola right now, because Coca-Cola has a very popular season with all the commercials that they're promoting and stuff. You got Six Flags, a lot of people taking trips. You got Playa hotels. A lot of people are going out to Cancun in Mexico and things. Delta Airlines is another one. These are insider tips. I do a lot of reading and things of the such to know this information. Maybe in the future I'll do a consultation. So if you're interested in building a portfolio, maybe that's something I'll look into the future. I do have a business called 10523 that's outside of Real TV. And it's involved with stock and crypto and all that stuff, so it can be legit. You do want to set up a business for yourself eventually if you do get into trading. So the taxes, you can have a break on that, okay? But it's called 10523. It's the acronym for the letters of who we are, Jew. 10 is for the letter J. E is for the number 5. And 23 is for the letter W. That's the name of my business, 10523. So in the future, if you're looking for a consultation, if you have any questions about building a portfolio, when to buy, how to buy, get with me. Send me an email at 777realtv@gmail.com. Express your interest. We'll form an affidavit. It'll be $200 for my take on what you can do. Just take this as a freebie for now, for some of the stuff that I'm into. But again, after the crash, I would suggest buying the dip, Bitcoin and Ethereum. I also suggest getting into Mana, which has to do with decentralized currency, where you can actually buy cities and plots of land in the metaverse. As another thing, NFTs is a huge thing to be a part of. If you need help with how to not pay gas fees, if you're a creator, if you're into arts, or if you're into photography, if you're into videography, if you want to make videos, any of things of those such, you can get with me again at 777realtv@gmail.com, and we can form an affidavit, and I can give you my expertise on that information. We can do a private phone call, maybe an hour, 30 minutes to an hour of our time. And just to, do what it do. Okay, I just want to put that out there. And anywho, I also want to put out there for those that are in the giving season, for those who don't want to pass out gifts to family members and friends and tired of going into debt, but you want to give to something wholesome, you can give to Real TV. And at Real TV, the money goes for the good. The money goes for food in this fridge. Money goes for me and my wife to have a nice date. The money goes to the poor on the street. Okay? The money will help pay for my gym membership. Okay? I'm just keeping it real with you. The money goes to, a little wine. The money goes to paying for this program on Spreaker. I have to pay for this. I pay for Spreaker. Okay? So if you want to donate, go to the link below, ko-fi/realtv.com. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee, that's ko-fi.com/realtv. REELTV. You know how it's spelled. Now, not on the mainstream news. We're moving along because you know how we can get. And we'll talk about Coca-Cola in a minute because they're going through a ritual right now, but their price will skyrocket soon. We'll talk about them in a minute. So, not on the mainstream news. Have you heard about the 4-day work week coming to America? Now they want Americans to have a 4-day work week. France and Europe has been doing it for some time, but now they want to make it known here. Again, robotics are taking over. So, are we surprised? There's going to be robotics at McDonald's. There's already that's already going on at Amazon and Walmart. In fact, here in Vegas, which is a culture shock to me, they have the self-driving cars out here. I'm on the Deuce, the double-decker bus, and I'm looking down like, yo, there's no way in that car. It's self-driving on the back. Everything is starting out here in the West. To drone deliveries and self-driving cars and self-driving trucks. This whole truck industry that's going on with food delivery, this is nothing more than a test to test the grounds of autonomous trucks that will do shipping deliveries. Okay? And Tesla is also a part of that. But here it is. Lawmakers are lining up a bill to bring forth a 4-day work week to America. House Progressive Caucus is putting its weight behind a measure that could fundamentally alter Americans' traditional work week. Representative Mark Takano said in a statement, the nearly 100 member group formally endorsed the 32-hour work week. So instead of 40 hours a week, which they want to eliminate altogether, they want to require employees to offer overtime pay after 32 hours. Sounds good to me. It is what it is, right? The bill hasn't passed yet. It's just being presented. So, they are getting traction on this with Congress. So just know that. Urgent. Coca-Cola recall. If you have any of these sodas or juices, you need to throw them out. Did you hear me on that? You need to throw these out right now if you have them. Following. Oh no, you got to be kidding me. Not this one. Following the Kool-Aid recall. Kool-Aid has been recalled? How did I miss that? Did y'all know about that? Kool-Aid got recalled. And the more extensive Kraft Heinz drinks recall. When did Kraft Heinz create drinks? Am I tripping? I did not know Kraft Heinz create drinks. What drinks do they create here? Am I tripping? Oh, are you serious? Yo, Kraft creates, I did not know this. This is new to me. This is a recall alert to include the following drinks: Country Time Lemonade, Tang, Arizona tea powdered beverages. First of all, I don't drink Tang anymore. I don't drink Country Time Lemonade. That's not the homemade lemonade I've been talking about in Limeade. The homemade lemonade and limeade I've been talking about is from fresh lemons and lime. No Country Time. And I definitely don't drink no Arizona powdered tea. I never even had that. I only had the ones with the can, but I don't even like those anymore. It got the high fructose in it. The can is pretty, tastes alright, but I don't drink those anymore. The ones for 99 cents. Alright, so this time around, the recalls are involving sodas and juices. And we're looking at 2 separate Coca-Cola recall announcements impacting products like Minute Maid, Sprite, and Coca-Cola. Now, again, when it comes to stocks, the old saying goes, you buy the rumor, you buy the news, you sell the rumor. So this is news right now that Coca-Cola is about to catapult. They're going through their humiliation ritual, and then their products about to fly off the shelves very soon. Yeah. Lots of these sodas and drinks might contain foreign substances like metal. You should stop drinking any kind of Coke, Minute Maid, and Sprite products, end the recalls, and throw them away potentially because they're contaminated products. Man, this is pretty serious though. Kraft Heinz announced that a few days ago that it found traces of glass or metal in various brands of popular beverages. Again, the company advised Country Time Lemonade, Tang, Arizona Tea, and Kool-Aid buyers to ensure the own supply wasn't part of the recall. Man, that's messed up. Because just a month ago, me and the missus made a goddamn on Kool-Aid pie the first time. From Catherine's Plates. If you've never seen Catherine's Plates on YouTube, she is a pleasure to watch. She has some fun, easy recipes that are just vintage and tasty, classic grandma's cookbook, just delicious. But there's a Kool-Aid pie recipe we tried that was pretty decent. We never made it before. We seen the video. It was like Kool-Aid pie, clicked on it, watched it, ended up trying it. And I think the first one we tried was, Tropical Punch? Tropical Punch with like strawberries on top and whipped cream. It was straight. Now, I ain't gonna lie now. With condensed milk, it was straight. And Cool Whip, it was good. Missus love it. But now, I mean, some people may be making Kool-Aid pie, or drinking that Country Time lemonade. Who knows? Anyways, there's a recall.
Making thrills.
Yeah, making thrills and stuff. But the following Minute Maid flavors are all a part of the recall. Berry Punch. If you got date codes with January 4th through 2022, it's a recall. If you got a date with January 5th, 2022, it's a recall. All right. The batch number for that is 0010-323-455. And another batch number for that drink is 0010 259344. Minute Maid Strawberry Lemonade is a recall. It has an expiration date of January 3rd, 2022. That batch recall number is 0010 259346. Now, if you just drunk it and you took a sip and you went to the fridge and you see it, don't panic, okay? Again, there's ways to get that out of your system. And the first is with the power of prayer. Because in our Father's house, is a house of prayers. Okay, that's scripture. In our Father's house we pray. So our body is our temple, and the scripture tells us that we should drink poison and live. Everything may be all right. You may not feel all right, but you will be all right eventually. Call medical attention as needed. Fruit Punch also has an expiration date of January 5th, 2022. Of Minute Maid Punch, it has gone bad as a recall, with recall batch number being 0010 323 454. Okay. Coca-Cola. Dang, man. 12-ounce cans with a date code of August 15, 2022. Done. Coca-Cola 12-ounce cans with a date of August 15, 2022. Recall is done. Sprite 12-ounce cans with expiration date codes August 15, 2022 is also a recall. All right. They are saying that a lot of these cans were shipped to various southeastern states, but that's what they say. Who knows? It could be more states than that. Just be precautious. Stay prayed up. At least 70 are feared dead in Kentucky alone. The governor says that tornado hits the city. Again, my condolences goes to those families out in Kentucky. 9 Omicron COVID-19 symptoms, infectious disease experts say you shouldn't ignore. What are these 9 symptoms? Let's see. Fatigue may be mistaken for another illness, including the common cold, since Omicron can only be confirmed with COVID-19 testing. Experts stress it's more crucial ever to get tested if you feel sick. Where are these symptoms now? I don't want to read this whole thing. Okay, chiefly feeling fatigue, feeling overtired or exhausted, and pain across multiple muscle groups on the body are much more common than breathlessness or loss of taste and smell associated with the previous strains of coronavirus. But most of the research being presented currently is limited and comes from anecdotes from healthcare providers on the ground in South Africa. Come on, y'all. Just give us the list of 9. Okay, here we go. The CDC officers have told Americans that more data are needed to know if Omicron infections cause more severe illness or death than infection with other variants. The most common symptoms for COVID-19 infections, including those caused by Omicron, as listed by CDC officials, are below. Fever or body chills, that's number 1. Number 2, a cough. Number 3, sore throat. Shortness of breath and difficulty breathing is at number 4. 5, fatigue or muscle ache or body ache. 6, headache, congestion or runny nose, nausea or vomiting or diarrhea. These are the symptoms. So if you don't know, now you know. We're about to finish up here shortly. Stock market crash and depression coming, warns Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Author Kiyosaki as inflation report hottest in 39 years. I've said this. Here's someone else who's saying this. I hope you take heed and you prepare for what's to come. So, Rich Dad Poor Dad, author, suggested that an economic depression could be brewing as well in a recent tweet. Inflation, there's a teeter-totter between higher rates and a steady economy, strategist says. He didn't specify when he thought things would go pear-shaped, and he said that he would be a buyer of all assets after their values are depressed. His remarks come as the U.S. registered the hottest U.S. consumer inflation reading almost in 40 years. Again, my suggestion to you is to stop buying these holiday gifts. If you got them, go return them, go get your money back and save it for the dip. Buy these stocks when they're at an all-time low to help create wealth for yourself and your family, to get your own place, to get your own land, to take care of things. Okay? It is more than gifts throughout this holiday season. If you still just can't get enough and you have it in your spirit to be giving and happy and things of the such, and you want eggnog and you want the smell of clove and cinnamon and pumpkin pie and sweet potato pie, man, just goddamn on, save your money, buy the dip, and give people your quality time. Invest your quality time. Write a letter to loved ones. Go see people who are sick. Go see people physically. You know, take that time to do it. But again, I'm not reading this entire article. The stock market will crash. The Great Depression is coming and inflation is going up. Stuff is already up. God dang on, me and the missus went to CVS the other day. They got paper plates for $13. A 15 stack of paper plates at CVS for $13 for paper plates? Come on, man. Somebody talk to me, man. Not for no paper plates. They basically charging $1 per plate. Hey, if you tally it all together, they're charging like $1 and like $1.04 for the plates. When you add on tax, that's just paper plates. I know it's CVS and it's inflated on the strip, but I mean, just in general, everything is going up. Meat is going up a little bit more. Juice is going up a little bit more. Everything is going up a little bit more. Fox anchor Chris Wallace makes his own news with move to CNN. So this guy, Chris Wallace, I'm going to bring this up because he's a news anchor that left Fox News after 18 years. And after him leaving, he said something a little bit strange. And that strange thing that he said, he had a background that was completely black. He had a background that was completely black. Okay, no news, no picture of a city or anything. It's completely dark. Okay? And he says something along the lines of, let me see if I can find a quote, because I don't want to read this whole article. Because you got to read between the lines. The devil's in the details. Oh my goodness, this is a long article, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me. All right. I can't find it right now. But in this article, okay, with the moderator, Chris Wallace of Fox News, if you get a chance to just see the brief clip or type it in, the background is completely dark. And he said that he feels for America for the darkness to come. He said something along the lines of that. I'm like, yo, what's up? What are you talking about? What is he talking about here? Is he talking about like a blackout? Is he trying to give a hint to a blackout? You know, all these weather changes and stuff. All these cyber attacks, you know, and things. It just make you wonder, yo. So, yeah. That's it for tonight, y'all. I know we could do more not on the mainstream news, but, you know, we'll finish it at that for today. And, again, when it comes to the Cannibal Club, there's only one club that we should be a part of. And that's having the body of Christ. That's eating upon his flesh, drinking upon his blood. He was of no sin, and they killed him. Okay? He was hung on a tree. He was not nailed to a cross. The scripture says he was hung on a tree. But they flip it, and they do the complete opposite and make a mockery out of scripture saying that he was nailed to a cross. So if you have on a cross, if you have on a cross in your home with a fake Christ, take it down. If you have a cross chain, take it off. If you have a cross with that Caesar Borgia Christ, you need to take it off, throw it in the trash. Melt it down, sell it, get it melted down, get your money. If it's pure gold, real gold, silver, whatever, get rid of it. That's not the real deal. We need to take on holiness and righteousness. When we break bread and eat our food, we need to be remembered of how we are blessed in this world to have another chance to try to get to heaven, to do what's right. We get a chance to try to get to heaven. Satan, if he could get to heaven, will cause another war. We cannot leave this world. We're under a dome. However, Satan may have limited access to heaven because he does walk to and fro, and then he tries to go and talk to the Most High and try to be conniving and deceive the Most High, and even try to tempt the Most High, which he can't. He'll never do. And he try to, use examples of people and try to say, well, I bet, if you cause this to happen to this person, or if you take this or that from this person, they'll curse you. Because remember in the story of the book of Job, Satan had to have permission to hurt Job or to take anything from Job. And the Lord gave specific guidelines. Again, you choose who you want to be a part of. Do you want to choose to serve Mammon or our Heavenly Father? Because you can't have two lords, or you'll serve one and you'll hate the other. So know the truth. Do your research. Like we always say, keep the Most High first. For TV. Stay tuned for the next. Love you much. Michael.